course, like most guys, you can think that you're unstoppable until he met a 20-year-old by the name of Gabriella Zuniga.
Mid too, like, come on, bro. You could have went for anything. Like, this is just mid.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look sweet.
All right, y'all, today we got Shannon Sharpe fired from ESPN, but it gets worse. First and foremost, I want to apologize for my lack of uploads today. I got sick. Yeah, and I'm really feeling like bad. So if you guys could drop a like and, you know, maybe just get well soon in the comments, that will be appreciated. We're going to be talking about this Shannon Sharpe situation today. Ultimately, we have a guy here that had everything, but, you know, I've said it before. If you lead a life full of lust, you're finna get bust. And boy, did he bust. We're talking a $12 million bust. Jesus. Big pause on that. But let's get right into the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys tap into the Twitch streams. Links to that will be in the description. That's Whereyouatberto. You guys know where to find me. Come on, let's do it.
He stepped down from ESPN while that was going on because he thought that he was coming back at the beginning of the preseason for NFL. Well, NFL preseason is beginning to start next week, or I think this week, and they just fired him.
Shannon Sharpe had left Fox Sports in 2023. By the time he was leaving the show with him and Skip Bayless, everything was all good. He was joining First Take on ESPN, and he started August 2023. And of course, those episodes was hit, but that wasn't the biggest thing coming his way. Fast forward! January 2024, Shannon Sharpe would shock the world with one of the greatest podcast interviews of all time, the Cat Williams.
That is what really put him on, ain't it? I feel like, obviously, he was already doing his thing. This guy's a NFL Hall of Famer, ESPN. Like, bro, I was already getting to that bag for sure. But I think this Cat Williams interview really changed the trajectory of everything, though.
Episode. And from there, everything started to come into fruition.
Money.
He was on ESPN, making a lot of money. Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco was popping, and the brand deals were coming in. Not to mention, he came up with his own liquor.
Really? Damn.
Shannon Sharpe couldn't be stopped. Money was coming in everywhere. He's making more money.
But he had to go clap that bunny. Jesus. It's crazy, bro. It's like, I promise you, it's like these guys wake up, have everything going right for them. Money's good. Life is good. Respect is good. Hall of Fame, legacy, cemented. And then they wake up and they're just like, yo, how can I mess this shit all up? This is really one of those situations that, you know, I'm joking, but on some shit, it's like, God, I've seen what you've done for others. Because clearly these guys don't appreciate it, but I digress. Let's get into it, man.
In a year than he probably made in his entire NFL career. But there was a problem. Shannon Sharpe got a little beside himself, and of course, like most guys, you can think that you're unstoppable until he met a 20-year-old by the name of Gabriella Zuniga.
Mid too, like, come on, bro. You could have went for anything. You could have, like, wrong is wrong, but my nigga. Average looking white girl. Average. Like, this is just mid.
She worked at a gym that he was visiting, and of course, we all know that Shannon loves those white women.
Jesus.
And even though she was 20 and he was in his late 50s, that didn't stop the clapping from coming on. And clapping is exactly what Shannon Sharpe did. And clapping a lot, and clapping a lot, and clapping a lot, until he got hit with a lawsuit. What? A lawsuit. Yes. One that was, in many cases, what he would consider maybe frivolous. I mean, that's how he took it at first, because she went and got with Tony Busby, a famous lawyer known for shaking down black men. Tony Busby shook down Deshaun Watson and won. Tried it with Jay-Z and lost. But hey, third time's a charm. He had a lot of evidence on Shannon Sharpe, and Shannon Sharpe was shook. For whatever reason, Gabriella Zuniga had a lot of text messages, voicemails. she had some information on Shannon Sharpe that
And you just going like the things that he was saying. I'm not sure if they're gonna show it here in the video, but like the things that this man was saying, like you got enough through the cheeks, my nigga. You had to go and fucking. She was talking about, I want your big black baby. Like what? Ancestors rolling in the grave right now, dog.
literally could ruin his career. Now, we want to be honest. Shannon Sharpe has prior history of women in the past talking about how he was abusive, and this also happened on a previous network that he was on. So he's not squeaky clean in all of this, but he was shook. He turned down the first offer, which was to settle out of court. He wasn't going to go with that. And then they hit him with the $50 million lawsuit. And Shannon Sharpe
50 M's.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Again, you do what you do in your spare time, but you just making random sex tapes with fucking mid-white girls that you clapping on the side. Like I like on some shit. I could get it if that's your woman, like that's your girl, you locked in, and you know you guys do what you want to do in your own time. You know what I'm saying? But the side average white girl from your gym, like niggas be too freaked out, bro. Niggas be too freaked out, and it's like, again, I don't wish no bad on no nigga. I think it was all consensual, 100%. So she's in the wrong for, getting out her body and doing all this alleged bullshit. So, but it's like, my nigga, you're too freaked out, bro. You're too freaked out. You need to calm your ass down. This is what happens, bro.
That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out.
Damn.
I don't have it, or I wouldn't myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
No, Shannon Sharpe did something that was a buster move. He mentioned Jay-Z, which I thought was weak. Like, bro, like Jay-Z wasn't in the room with you when you was clapping cheeks.
Yeah.
Right, you know.
But again, he thought that everything was going to go his way. Yeah, it went his way. It went the other way.
Got him.
Shannon Sharpe made what he thought was the right move. He'll step away from ESPN and handle this, and once this kind of goes away, he'll come back to the network. Sounds smart. You don't bring any drama to your employer while you're dealing with your dirt. Handle your dirt, you come back to the network, all will be good. But then something happened in the meantime. Shannon Sharpe decided to go ahead and settle. We don't know how much money it was, but people started to believe that he settled for $23 million.
Yeah, I mean, Shorty was suing him for 50 M's. So even if she got like a small piece of that, she won the lottery. You know what I'm saying? So she really won. I heard the bitch got the bag and then retired. Bitch got the bag and said, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks resume on OF. I'm good. Like, what?
He called black women gold diggers. He told his own children, that he should be the last option that they are able to call whenever they need help. He didn't even want to pay for his own, I believe it was his daughter's wedding.
Really?
He was a willing participant. In every single thing that he did, and I don't feel sorry for him. The universe sent him signs.
I mean, again, I ain't wishing bad on the brother, man. He fucked that hoe consensually, so I don't wish this on him. But again, you do reap what you sow, though.
And then, of course, the sisters had to come out and say this.
Do you see how when you go to these white tea women and claim that black women ain't this and black women ain't that, we got too much mouth, we got too much attitude, we're all gold diggers like Mr. Shannon Sharpe said? Do you see the outcome?
He said that?
YT women know how to play the game. They know that you all are desirable. You all are the forbidden fruit. They're gonna milk that. They're gonna milk you till it's dry.
Now, if he settled for over $20 million, well, that's crazy because he didn't even make that plan in the NFL. And then you give that money to a lady who's 20 years old and then she retires from OnlyFans. But again, the strategy that Shannon Sharpe has is, listen, I know it's a loss, but it's not a problem. I can get that money back. That's his mentality, right? That's what he's thinking. It's a strategy thing. Look, give them the money, get back on social media. I can make the money because of a few things. Number one, Club Shay Shay is popping. I got over 4 million subscribers over there. That's nothing, right? I'm gonna make the money back. Two, Chad Ochocinco and me got Nightcap. I'm balling over there. Three, I got my liquor popping. All that's good. And I'll be able to recover that money because again, selling this, all my brands will come back. And obviously, guess what? NFL season is starting back and I'm going to be able to go back to ESPN and it's okay. I'll have it all again. Right? Well, Shannon Sharpe officially was fired from ESPN. And we don't really understand what was the reason that he was fired. Definitely something happened because most articles are saying that he cut ties. Now, why is this important? Now, number one, Shannon Sharpe has his own platforms, right? He got Club Shay Shay. He got, Nightcap. It don't really matter. He don't need ESPN anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's where you're wrong. You see,
really, I was under the impression of saying that he's still good no matter what. Like, obviously, so much money is getting left on the table for him losing the ESPN bag. But one thing that is 100% factual, I've seen the views that he's pulling in on his channels. Money is not an issue. So that's the only thing where it's like, especially when the vast majority of people are kind of have the opinion I have where it's like, okay, bro, you a freaky ass nigga, but you're not a criminal though. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people will give him that benefit of doubt. They'll still watch him. They'll still, tap into his content and be entertained and whatnot. So I think he's going to be good financially, but yeah, he's definitely taking a big hit losing that ESPN bag for sure.
Shannon Sharpe
he doesn't need it though.
A lot from ESPN. Why? Number one, he got a lot of exposure. Okay. When you're on a show like First Take,
that is true,
and you're on there with people like Stephen A. Smith, you're in front of the entire world. So by chance, if somebody knew you or didn't know you, but they know that you had a YouTube channel, just being on ESPN alone helps you blow up tremendously. It's the biggest gift that keeps on giving. And Shannon Sharpe is an excellent show host, right? He knows sports. He commentates really, really good on football and even basketball. So he's versatile with both of those things. Great sportscaster, and people tune in to see him, but not only tune in to see him on ESPN, they tune in to see him on his own independent platforms. Number two, Shannon Sharpe gets a stamp of credibility from ESPN. Now, he's on there with a lot of really interesting people. If you want to say Stephen A. Smith and other people there. So he's qualified. He gets a stamp of approval. You played in the NFL, but you're on there with Stephen A. Smith and all these other guys. So you get a stamp of approval, not only from ESPN, but from Disney, who owns it. And we'll get into that. 3, ESPN actually tagged Shannon Sharpe on Twitter, now X, on Instagram. So the individual short form content that comes from ESPN, he's getting free promotion, which leads to traffic to his YouTube
This
channel,
is real stuff. This is true.
Not only that, they sometimes take clips from Nightcap, his own personal show with Chad Johnson, and they then repost it. What does that do? It is the best clip farming system on planet Earth to promote your personal shows. Basically, you got the biggest network in sports blowing you up all times of hours of the day, and then also making you more visible than ever before more visible than you ever were at Fox. All right, that's number one. Number two, look at the brand deal opportunities that come because you're Shannon Sharpe. Now, it's okay that you have Club Shay Shay. That's one thing, right? But because you work for ESPN, which is Disney, you are a person of high regard because Disney has a squeaky clean image. It's important to understand that, all right? And if you work for Disney, which is a company that is so respected, it trains other companies how to deal in things like customer service and customer care. It is the gold standard of all companies.
That does make sense. That does make sense.
Disney, how you carry yourself offline really matters. Rewind! April 2nd, 2021. If you guys forgot, remember what happened with Paul Pierce? Paul Pierce, who was, a commentator at that particular time on ESPN, did something pretty stupid. He was.
Yeah, I was just about to say, from what I can remember, that nigga just did some dumbass crash out shit though.
In there with some.
But I guess so did Shannon Sharpe. Well, so hey, we can't gloss over that.
Chicks. He was married at the time. They were strippers. He was drinking, smoking weed, not illegal. This is on his own time, okay? But what ended up happening to Paul Pierce? Fired, right? Now, the reality is that ESPN cannot deal with a particular individual that is like Paul Pierce. And in this case, Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe messed his career up the moment that he agreed to settle that out of court. In the eyes of Disney, that is an admission of guilt. And so what is the policy? All right. ESPN talent agreements include strict moral clauses and guidelines around public conduct. Okay. Now, even though Shannon Sharpe is not really guilty of public conduct, well, because a lawsuit was there, this is what got Paul Pierce. Basically, what this is you're breaching our guidelines as a person who has a sexual allegation against you. We can't have you working in our business.
That's one thing that I just hate in general, though, is like this society of guilty until proven innocent, But hey, he did settle, which financially, maybe it just was the right business decision. He just wants to move on with his life. He knows he's going to keep making money, so that's a perspective for sure. But it's like, yeah, settling does say there's some truth here. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Whatever it is, here's the money. Let's move on. And like bro said, that can definitely come off as guilty, depending on who you're talking to.
Because you make us look bad. And I just want guys to understand that also. Just because you have a good business, you don't really need other people. You need to rethink that, all right? Yes, you do. Like, I've been on YouTube for 10 years. I used to have that mentality. But once you box yourself in like that, it's just so hard to grow, right? And if people who have more than you don't like you and you piss them off, literally it's more hard for Shannon Sharpe to grow now than ever before because he doesn't have that stamp of approval. He doesn't have that engine. He doesn't have that weight, and the brand deals are just not going to be coming in as they were before because, bro, you got fired from ESPN. This is why you see Paul Pierce doing things like the Truth podcast now instead of being on ESPN. And the reason is, to be honest, he doesn't have that same level of credibility as he had before because the image is now tainted. That's why Paul Pierce don't really care, and he's talking the way he is because Paul Pierce can't really deal with the public like he used to before. Those days are over, and he understands it. So Shannon Sharpe, sorry for you, bro. Should have been clapping too many cheeks.
Word. I mean, at the end of the day, I do think he's going to be just fine. Like I said, this guy is an NFL Hall of Famer. And maybe he did spend a lot of money on some bullshit, but something tells me that financially that he is not hurting. You know what I'm saying? Even after paying that fat settlement. I was an expensive nut, huh? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this conversation, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. My name's Bert. Again, I really do appreciate y'all, man. I had to get up on here and show up for y'all, but I'm sick, bro. It was really, y'all can see my energy, bro. I'm messed up, but love y'all. I'm going to tap into Twitch streams. Links will be in the description. Whereyouatberto and
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look too easy.